All right, guys, listen, man. Ubisoft is on their BS again. Ubisoft is on their BS again. Now, everybody keeps talking about this mentorship program from Ubisoft. And I want to make it very clear. We have spoken about this program many times before, okay? Many times before we've spoken about this program. This program has been around for ages, okay? I think it's been around for a couple of years now. This is Ubisoft's mentorship program, and it's called Develop at Ubisoft. And it is exactly what you think it would be, okay? And again, I hate rehashing it because I talk about this all the time. But you know what? When people discover it for the first time, sometimes you got to jump back on it just to inform people of, what's happening. But it's almost 4 years that this program has been out. And when they, what's funny? When they say mentorship, they mean no men. That's basically it. They mean no men. No men for this mentorship. So if you scroll down, we can see some of the rules, the eligibility. Okay, what do you have to be in order to get this mentorship program, or like, what do you have to be to get into this mentorship? You have to be. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have to be. You just have to identify. Let me make sure I'm right in what I say. You have to identify as a woman, or you have to identify as a woman with extra steps, aka a non-binary individual. All right. So you have to be a woman or a non-binary individual in order to qualify. That is illegal. That is illegal. That is literally discrimination. And they're trying to hide the discrimination under the guise of inclusivity. You can't be inclusive while being exclusive. Am I right? Like, you can't do that. But that's what they do. Every time they talk about inclusivity, it's always at the cost of somebody else. It's never actually inclusive in the real sense of the word, like by the actual definition. When they say inclusivity, they mean get the fuck out of here, straight white male. Get out of here, straight white male. You're not needed. And this is why. You see this stuff right here? You guys know me. If you guys have been watching my content for a while, you know I have a conspiracy theory. And it's my own conspiracy theory. Nobody else has said this. I'm the one that says it. And again, I have no facts to back it up. That's why I'm calling it a conspiracy theory. But every time we talk about these kind of subjects, I always bring up that conspiracy theory because it proves to be true the more you look at it. But I genuinely believe, my conspiracy theory is that I genuinely believe that in the gaming industry, a certain tide has turned where now you have white men, straight white men, that have had to, or at least they feel like they have had to trans themselves in order to keep their jobs that they've had for 10 plus years. Right? Do not underestimate ever what people would be willing to do to keep their career that they worked so hard for. This is why we've seen so many people come out as trans in the gaming industry recently over the last year or two, because they saw the writing on the wall. They knew that their jobs were at risk. There's been plenty of white men getting fired. Plenty of white men getting fired. Even the guy at what was it? Even the guy at what the fuck is that company, man? Jesus Christ, man. Wizards of the Coast. Even the guy at the Wizards of the Coast, the white guy who's like, yeah, white people need to get out of D&D. Guess what? He got fired. So you got your wish, bitch. So this is why recently we've been seeing a rise in trans people in the gaming industry. At least that's what I believe, right? You have that person. Let me see if I can find it. Trans people in the gaming industry. There was a particular who is it in Dragon Age Veilguard. Dragon Age Veilguard. Director, trans. What the fuck is this person's name? I forgot. But they're trans. I can't even find their fucking name anymore. This is crazy. Oh, Corin Bush. Here we go. So Corin Bush, right here. Here we go. Just so we understand. This is a real thing. It's a real thing. I'm telling you. White straight men are transing themselves to keep their careers. Not all of them, but some of them. Right? Look at Carolyn Petit. Carolyn Petit over at Kotaku. Do you think Carolyn Petit would have a job right now if he didn't trans himself? Seriously, think about that. Do you think so? I don't think so. They look very feminine. It's called a filter. It's called a filter. So this is a person who's in charge of Dragon Age Veilguard. Again, if we find Carolyn Petit, you know, these are all white men. Some of them have been a little bit more dedicated than others. Okay. Some of them have been a little bit more dedicated than others, but they are transing themselves purposefully. White men are transing themselves purposefully in this industry in order to keep their jobs that they've had for a long time. Even Jim Sterling. Look at fucking Jim Sterling, bro. Right? Again, this is my conspiracy. Can't prove it. Have no evidence for it other than what I see right before my eyes. I see a massive amount of white men transing themselves in the gaming industry. And it all happened over the last couple of years. Within the last couple of years, it's all happened. So this is why these kind of programs, these DEI programs, this shit only exists to make things worse. So let's see. You got to identify as a woman or a non-binary individual. That means that all you got to do is become Corin Bush or Carolyn Petit, and you immediately qualify for this mentorship. All you got to do is say you're a woman. That's it. That's all it is. Be 18 years or older. Shocker. Currently attend or have graduated in or after spring 2023. Have less than 2 years of professional experience in game design or programming in video games. Be legally entitled to work in the country where you are applying. Apply to only one location. Submit an individual entry. Team entries will not be considered. And then for Canada, must reside in Ontario. Are currently attending or have graduated from Ontario post-secondary school no earlier than spring 2023. As noted by YouTuber Dread Roberts, this program is not new and has been around for at least 4 years, giving up blog posts about previous mentees and mentors, sharing their experience. States, for the 4th year in a row, the Develop at Ubisoft mentorship program helped promising women and non-binary talents shape their dream career in gaming. Over the past months, 90 mentors from 19 Ubisoft studios welcomed 90 mentees who brought a fresh perspective and new ideas into game design and programming and got to develop their own creative project. Yeah. Fresh ideas. Sure. How many fresh ideas exactly? What was the fresh idea? Putting a black guy in feudal Japan, Assassin's Creed? Was that your fresh idea?